And there still kind of is in my family, because there's a sense of that loss, and at the same time being really proud of what he did to basically start the industry. So it's kind of a funny thing there, and I've had to navigate within my own family, but also in the industry, because there's such strong stories that have been handed down, and people sometimes don't want to hear that there might possibly be some other aspects to things than what we've heard all along. So it's been an interesting path.
I'm with you on that, for sure.
Yeah.
There's a funny layer to that for me, because you know how families are. You're kind of mean to each other, but no one else can say anything. And my grandfather's little brother, who, if any of you follow Scribbly, was Dinky in the comic, was pretty bitter about it too. They all were. And I was trying really hard to do research and asking them the aspects that I didn't know, and none of them were forthcoming. And inadvertently, I asked my uncle a question that came out kind of negative, and I, the same day, had posted a record of Spider-Man that I'd gotten for 10 cents because I'm into albums. And I get this email that says, you know, Spider-Man was a rival of Superman, and I myself have never purchased one. And that was it. Just got totally defensive. And in getting defensive, all this information about how it came about started pouring through. So it was really cool. And it seemed to have broken through the resentments. At this point, it's starting to see the gifts that came from it. Because the way you view something at 5 and the way you can then view it at 60, fortunately, it seems to be giving them a new perspective. But at the time, I think they were pretty pissed. They felt like DC Comics was probably the other woman.
Jackie, anything on that?
I don't know. Like I said, you know, my dad was pretty close to my grandparents, and I think very protective. Now, I think his brother, my uncle, has a different view. I think, you know, it does seem like my grandparents were, you know, completely, you know, in the comic book thing when my dad and his brother were small. And so, you know, it does seem like, you know, comics took up their whole, you know, everything. But I don't know. I don't think there was really any tension there as far as anything like that goes. Now,
do any of you run into people who must assume you must be billionaires for being
Please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you must be loaded.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and somebody asked me that yesterday. I took the subway, which I've been taking every day, thank you very much, and somehow they started the conversation.
Are you have a driver?
Yeah, somehow the conversation came up, you know, what are you doing in New York? I'm at the New York Comic Con, and I don't quite look like I might be at New Comic Con, because I like to come disguised as mild-mannered me.
Muggle.
Right. And so we were talking, and then the inevitable thing came up. Oh, wow, you must be loaded. I said, what the hell do you think I'm doing on the subway?
Research.
Right.
Yeah, because you have varying degrees. Well, in Athena's case, her grandfather was the ghost writer for the guy whose name went on everything. During his lifetime, he never saw his name on a single Batman publication.
No, he did.
One TV episode, or one 2-part TV episode.
Right. Charles was nice enough to put his name first.
Yeah, he had a writing partner in TV at that point, because Bob had gotten mad and gotten him kicked off the Batman comics book that he worked on for 26 years. But on this 2-part TV episode, the only story that was written by comic book writers, he and his writing partner wrote that, and Sinclair usually went first. And Bill, who wasn't quick to stick up for himself even on little things, but Charles could pick up that something was bothering him. It's like, what is it? Just say it. And Bill said, well, I would really like to have my name go first, or just really show those DC people. And so he's on the Clock King episodes. And it says, does that one says Bill, or does that one say William? It's a cartoon episode of
I believe it was the cartoon that said
the
William.
Superman, the Superboy cartoon says William.
Right,
Bill
which is not
Langley.
correct.
Yeah, he was Bill Finger. It was actually Milton. Was his
Right.
birth name. Before I go to audience questions, because I don't completely trust okay.
Can I have one thing really quick?
Okay, you go.
And that
You do one of your things.
My grandfather was one of the first ones to get the artists to start signing their work because prior to that they didn't. And he had made it so far in editorship that when he was drawing, he was just putting his name on and he kind of started a thing where artists finally started signing their own work, which was great.
Now, before I go to audience questions, I don't 100% trust the Wi-Fi, so I've been worried this entire time, what if we suddenly lose Jacque? So before I go to them, all of you tell everybody where they can find you online, if you tweet, or Facebook, or Tumble, or whatever. Let's start with Jacque, since that's the one I'm most worried about, and then we'll head to my left.
Okay, so I write about 1960s and 70s romance comic books. My blog is Sequential Crush, which is just www.sequentialcrush.com, or you can just go to JacqueNodell.com and it'll redirect you. And there's also a Sequential Crush Facebook page, and I tweet, I do Instagram, I pretty much do the whole gamut. But the best place to check me out is sequentialcrush.com.
Nicky?
I have a blog at www.majormalcolmwheeler-nicholson.com, and we just came out with a book of his adventure stories called The Texas Siberia Trail by Off Trail Publications, and you can get it on Amazon. And I tweet, and I don't know what all I do. It's so amazing. And there's a Facebook fan page for him, so if you're interested, please go on and join that page. And Gerard Jones, who wrote Men of Tomorrow, and I are working on a biography about my grandfathers.
That's the one you got the Eisner for, isn't it?
What?
Gerard Jones, he got an Eisner.
Yeah. For Men of Tomorrow. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Chelle?
I have a website, www.peacefulshades.com. It's under construction at the moment. And I have an Instagram under Peaceful Shades and Facebook art page under Shades of Peace. I'm also working on a biography of his comic, and I have 2 stories that he drew for me as a little girl that I'm currently coloring, and they will be up on the website soon.
You can find me on Facebook and Twitter. Just put in Athena Finger and I'll come up. You can check out the Bill Finger Appreciation page on Facebook also. Check them out.
And if you're looking for Shelley, it's Chelle, because I'm weird.
Short for Michelle with 2 L.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. Questions, comments, insults, bribes. Green hand.
Not so much a question. I just want to thank all your families for creating all the characters and the trends in the comic industry that they do. Just very big fans.
All right. Prison shirt.
Yes. I'm wondering, since all these characters have changed so much over the years, what is your least favorite change that has occurred that you know of in the comic that your grandfathers worked on, or what is your favorite change that occurred? And
Okay. Jacque, what's your favorite or least favorite changes that you've seen to your grandfather's creations?
Well, I guess the nature of the Green Lantern is that there's a bunch of them. So I would love to see an Alan Scott movie, like a period piece. I think that would be really awesome. But
I saw a fist pump at that out in the audience.
I have to admit, I don't really read that many new comics because I'm kind of stuck in the 60s and 70s. You know, I think a lot of the movie, you know, it was fun. I think it was definitely like a kid's movie. But like I said, I would like to see an Alan Scott movie.
Okay.
One of the best the best aspects of it is that it's now a thing to be proud of, to say you're a comic artist, whereas in the 30s and 40s, they were put down. They put a lot of hours in, and they did a lot to build this foundation, and it was not a credible profession. You're really, it was not accepted at all. And so I like how much credibility comics have now become as art and writing and an art form in and of itself. For me, the worst is the way color is approached. I really liked it before digital. The not having a limited palette makes the page way too loud and too much going on, and I think it takes away from the line work and the writing a little bit for me.
I don't really read comics.
Because it was your family's dark secret
Yeah,
when
it
you
was
were
like
growing
the
up.
family dirty secret. We didn't talk about it. We didn't approach anything that had anything to do with comics, except for maybe the movies.
And who's your favorite or least favorite Batman?
My least favorite Batman as the character in a movie or as the actor?
Whichever you feel like it is.
Yes.
I would have to say the Batman and Robin movie was really bad.
As I call it, the abomination.
But, you know, they all can't be winners, as we know. But, you know, I've enjoyed watching the progression of the character on film, on TV, in animation, in the movies. It's been really interesting because my first experiences were Super Friends, cartoon Saturday mornings, and the reruns of the 60s Batman show. I mean, that's what I grew up with because we didn't have comics in the house. In fact, I don't think my mom would have liked if I brought comics into the house. So that's...
I used to tape them under my drawer, like in a manila envelope, and I would hide them under my clothing drawer so she couldn't find them and read them with a flashlight under the blanket.
Yeah, no, that was not happening. The true origins of Batman. So I'd like to see the different ideas behind the Batman character.
Well, I can't really speak to an individual character as well as...
Your grandfather created the industry.
So I'd like to speak to that. One of the reasons I really love doing this is because I really love the art and the writing when it's really good. And so I'm interested in the historical aspects of it, some of the amazing things in the past, like Siegel and Schuster created a character called Dr. Occult, which I absolutely love, and most of you have probably not seen because those comics aren't available. But I also love some of the work that some of the new, younger artists are doing, and I agree with Chelle's the way she expressed it about the way things look from the digital point. And I just love the artwork, and I love the work that people are doing now. There's some great stuff out there.
All right. I got the 5-minute warning 1 minute ago, so. Okay, Supergirl.
Hello. I was just wondering,
There's two Supergirls.
Oh. One Supergirl says. I didn't see. Okay, purple Supergirl, go ahead.
what is your favorite medium for seeing your grandfather's characters portrayed, like TV show, animation, movie?
Okay, so what's your favorite medium for comic book stories?
Comic book.
Okay. Okay, for Sheldon's comic books.
Comics.
Okay. Jackie's comics.
I actually, now that I've been to quite a few cons and finding out more about my grandfather, I have been reading more. I really love Alex Ross's work. Like, it's so beautiful and blows me away. It really does. One of my first comics that I read was Kingdom Come. My friend put it in my hands, you have to read this. I'm like, okay. And I was just, I mean, the artwork is phenomenal. It blows me away.